This is Taco the Chihuahua and Gordita the Puggle. They're two little old ladies that their humans lovingly dubbed Gordaco. And they're my first two clients in the bus. Since it's 106 degrees outside, we're only doing a quick wash. I have an amazing air conditioner, but neither of them really care for the blow dryer, and it's so hot outside, they didn't stay wet for very long. Taco says, What is this? You tricked me. We got to hang out all week long, and I come to find out that you got my trust, and now it's bath time. Excuse me. I guess it feels kind of nice because the water's perfect temperature. I like rinsing them before I put the shampoo on. I feel like the shampoo spreads a lot better, and even though it uses a little bit more water, I think it's important for the good lather. This is a new shampoo that I've never used before. Wagon Tails sent it to me, and thankfully they did because I forgot all my shampoo at my house, and then I wouldn't have been able to. There is a fly buzzing around my head, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, it's a cucumber lime shampoo, and I'm not putting it on their face because it is not tearless, so they were just getting a little rinse on their face with water today. The cucumber lime smells so good. They smell like a margarita, but like without that tequila smell. Both Taco and Gordita are super old. I'm not really sure how old they are. I think Gordita, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Sadie how old they are, but they're very, very old. And Taco only has a few teeth left, and she says, well, that's no big deal. She says, I do just fine without all of my teeth. I don't really understand why you had to mention that to everybody. Nobody would even know if you didn't say nothing. So can you just keep our private business private? We don't need to talk about how toothless I am. I might start a little tangent. This one of my pet peeves is like when somebody starts a TikTok video or starts a video and they're like, oh, don't mind my giant pimple. Like 9 times out of 10, we're not looking at your pimple. We want to hear what you want to say. And as soon as you say, oh, don't mind my pimple, don't mind my ugly nails, that is the first thing that I'm looking at now that you mentioned it. Oh my gosh, this fly. I wonder if you can hear it buzzing around in the audio. Once they're all lathered up, it's time to rinse. And the only difficult thing about having more than one dog in the bathtub is like you'll start rinsing one dog and then the other dog will come over and you'll start rinsing the other dog, but they'll be like over the dog that you just rinsed. So then you have to re-rinse the other dog, which kind of wastes some water, but it does save a lot of time having them both together. And these two, they are like inseparable. They're in their room together with their little bed together, and they do everything together. They go to the bathroom together. They do eat together, everything. So some dogs, they have their little life partners, and that's one thing that I really love about mobile grooming is that you can bring the whole family in, and especially with nervous dogs, it's really nice to be able to keep the family together. Let's speed this rinsing process up because I feel like this is taking an eternity, and I'm running out of stuff to say. Let's move on to the next thing. Tomorrow's my first official day out, and I'm a little apprehensive because I'm not used to doing so many dogs. Like, I haven't worked since April. I've helped my friends out, but I haven't had a full-blown day. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to manage my time, and hopefully it's just not way too hot. It's just, I'm so thankful that this has an air conditioner because it works really, really, really good. It cooled it down super quick. And I gotta give a quick love break to Gordita. She says, thanks, but no thanks. It was worth a try, but so when I was carrying them out to the bus, I was holding a towel and I completely like dropped the towel on my way out, but I was like trying to hold them and get them to the bus. So I said, you guys stay. You got to stay right here. And I ran out and got the towel off the porch, and then I ran back in. So I left the video rolling because I was kind of curious to see what they did. It looks like Taco starts barking. But I ran to the porch because I don't have any tethers on them, and I was like, oh, it makes me a little bit nervous. I don't like to leave them by themselves, but we're very good. We stayed right there because that's kind of a far jump, but we're really glad that you're coming back and bringing a nice fluffy towel, even though it fell on the ground. With all the excitement surrounding getting the bus, I was just so scatterbrained that I forgot my tether. I forgot my shampoo, my mixing bottles, and like I said, thankfully Wagon Tails gave me some samples of Lala's shampoo. And yeah, this is nice. Ooh, that feels really good. Taco says, I'm going to get out of here. Taco was not shedding at all, but Gordita, oh man, she has so much undercoat. She was like, I put the blow dryer on her and she was like blowing coat all over the place. The end of the video is Gordita getting blow dried, and my bus is like completely covered in hair, and I'm like, oh, it was so shiny. So I was telling one of my clients, I was like, look how easy it gets so messy. It's so hard to keep these buses clean. So I really have to think of some kind of regimen to make sure that I keep up with cleaning it, because not only is there like a ton of hair that gets all over the place and in the little nooks and crannies, but there's this grime. And groomers, if you know, you know. This grime that dogs leave, it's so gross. But it just builds up, and before you know it, you got like this weird slime. And that's one thing that I really love about mobile grooming, is that we can clean in between every pet. And at corporate salons, it was so difficult to keep up with the cleaning regimen. Like, they wanted you to clean in between every single dog, let the stuff sit, which, yes, you're supposed to do that. But then they had you scheduled X amount of dogs, or you need to hit this sales point there, and all the kennels would be full. And by the time one's leaving, another one's coming in, and we're so behind that we need to, how are we going to, so let's just say corporate is not the best at cleaning, though their intentions are there. We would always end up cleaning in the morning and at night. If we missed any at night, then that would be when we do the morning cleaning. But it's hard, but with mobile, once I'm finished with them, I can spray all my stuff down, wipe everything down before I drive off to my next appointment, and I know everything is clean and sanitized, and it takes zero time, because while I'm driving, the disinfectant's sitting on the stuff, or sitting on all my equipment. So it's just, I just love that part of it. That's like one of the perks of being mobile, is the cleanliness. Even though it's still filthy, it's still a filthy job, but we're able to keep a safer environment for your pets. Normally I do toenails first, but for whatever reason I decided to do them afterwards, probably because I didn't have my tether and I was just trying to get them in the tub. She did really, really well. I like using kitty cat nail trimmers for smaller dogs, and she's like, oh, whatever, I'm a pro at this. Speaking of pros, I've done hundreds of thousands, probably. I should probably do the math on that. I'm curious how many nail trims I've done. I've done so many nails, but we still can accidentally quick the dog, which is what happens here with Miss Taco. And I'll zoom in here so you can see that tiny little dot of red. I just got a little bit too short there on the inner part. So when that happens, we have Siptic powder, and it's called Quick Stop, and it's this yellow metallic powder stuff. And the only reason I know it's metallic is because if you ever eat anything when you have Quick Stop in your fingernails still, it tastes like pennies. Anyway, you take a pinch and you put a little on the end, and that'll just stop it from bleeding, which that was a very minor quick. But older dogs will have longer quicks, especially if they're not getting their nails done all the time. I said, I'm sorry, Taco. I didn't mean to do that. And it's genetic too, I think. But anyway, you don't know your dog's history. Some dogs who are adopted, and maybe they were on the streets for 3 or 4 years, or had a neglectful parent and never got their nails done. So it just, when they're old, their quicks can be a little tricky quickie. Taco says bye. Oh, I didn't even mention how adorable Gordy was this entire time, because I was on my little spiels. Her peeking around the corner and stuff I thought was really, really cute. Now it's time to watch the fur fly. I like to squeeze their feet just to make sure and get a little bit more water off of them. Gordy has a double coat. That pug. Pugs are like the sheddiest of shedders. It's just crazy. And beagles are also the sheddiest of shedders. And that combo is just shed machine. She says, ooh, I like that. Can I just, ooh, yeah, that feels good. It's nice. It's nice to be clean. And I really like my butt scratched. I think I mentioned before that I did her nails on film, but my phone decided to run out of storage. So I fixed it. I got all of my stuff uploaded to the cloud so that I have more room to record my doggies. And when I don't have a tether on the dog, I really like to make sure that I keep my hand somewhere on the pet, just because I don't want them to jump off. Even though the table's not very high up, it's still just something that I would prefer not to happen. On my live earlier, maybe their stepsister, she just decided to launch off the table because she was terrified. But look at all that hair flying. I only have the dryer on one motor, so if I put it on two, man, I could get a lot of undercoat out. But she doesn't really care for the blow dryer. This is not a very thorough process. I mean, normally it would be more thorough, but really I'm just trying to get the big water off of her and get some of the hair off of her. But normally I will dry the dog completely straight through till they're bone dry, because that's when you're going to have the most effective brushing. If you brush a wet dog, especially if you're trying to de-shed the dog, it's not going to be very effective. But once they're completely dry, it's quite effective. She's kind of submitted to the fact that the blow dryer is happening. And let me just get under your neck. Let me get you a little bit more dry before you try to. She says, I'm going to find an area. I'm going to find a hole. I am calculating. I am ready to be finished with dish. And I said, fine, be finished. And then I use the blow dryer to blow off the hair on my face. And this is where my phone decided to say no more recording. And that's just me turning off the generator, and I'm going to vacuum, but then it's like, nope, no more memory. Hey, you made it to the end screen. Long time no see, right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And I am going to try and change the format a little bit. Not like crazy, but definitely trying to think of ideas. I don't know. Let me know what you think.